When the most destructive fires in Los Angeles history devastated thousands of homes earlier this year, the big question was, how could this happen? Such infernos belong exclusively, it was thought, to an age before modern land management and fire prevention, not our safety-conscious 21st century, right? Well, tonight we're bringing you new information that not only explains perhaps how the disaster grew to such historic proportions, but also who might be responsible for letting it happen. NewsNation's Rich McHugh joins us now from Southern California. Rich, what have you discovered?
Hi, Elizabeth. Well, it's pretty shocking. We've obtained video which shows embers smoldering for days before the ignition of the Palisades fire. Not only that, we have new reporting which shows that people were sounding the alarm about the smoke and even called 911, and nobody did anything about it. It's 11:30 a.m. on January 2nd. A hiker atop the Pacific Palisades films smoldering brush. Officials allege that 36 hours earlier, Jonathan Rinderneck deliberately set fire in the Palisades. Fire teams responded and put out what was called the Lockman fire. 6 days later, on January 7th, the fire reignited and would become the Palisades fire, the worst in LA's history, taking 12 lives and over 6,800 structures. On October 7th, the feds claimed that after the original fire was declared fully contained, neither firefighters nor the public could see smoldering embers.
The fire was a holdover fire, meaning it was deeply seated in dense vegetation and roots and continued to burn undetected until catastrophic weather ensued, resulting in the Palisades fire.
But this new video shows the fire still smoldering, not a hose or fire crew in sight.
When we heard the federal officials announce that the Lockman fire embers continued to burn undetected, we knew that that wasn't accurate, and several people contacted us and said, we have video of smoldering embers in the ground in the burn scar of the Lockman fire. And as with the reports we received prior to that, we looked at the video, and sure enough, you can see smoke coming out of the ground.
It's my understanding that not only did your clients go up there and see smoke coming out of the ground, they called 911.
And ultimately, we know that no one was dispatched to the area to investigate in response to those 911 calls.
To be clear, you're not pointing the finger at LA Fire Department, LA County Fire Department. You're saying this lies squarely on the state.
That's right. Because the fire rekindled on state land, and because the state had an obligation to go out and inspect its property to make sure there were no dangerous conditions like smoldering embers after the Lockman fire, after reports of smoke coming out of the ground, and in the face of a red flag high wind warning, the buck stops with the state. It's the state's obligation to inspect its own land.
Michael Castillo, former battalion chief and 40-year veteran of the Los Angeles Fire Department, agrees.
Well, the ultimate responsibility would lie with whoever owns that property. Ultimately, that would be, in this case, the state.
No doubt about it.
No, there's no doubt about it. They're the property owner. The buck stops with them.
Governor Newsom said he pre-deployed assets to the area. Cal Fire confirmed that not a single fire truck was pre-deployed to the Palisades. And the fact that they didn't pre-deploy assets to the area, what does that say to you?
There is a breakdown in the command structure at the highest levels of the state of California.
Governor Newsom's office pushing back on this, saying this lawsuit against the state is baseless, that it was not the responsibility to monitor or combat this fire. Ultimately, the state's position is that this fire, the Palisades fire, did not begin on state land, which runs contrary to what the ATF final report reported in their report, which said, yes, it did begin on state land, and therefore it is the state of California's responsibility. Elizabeth?
But, Rich, I'm curious, if somebody calls 911 and says, I see smoke coming up, does the 911 operator say, oh, sorry, I'm a county 911 operator, I'm not going to send anybody? You got to call the state? I don't understand why this jurisdiction thing means nobody went out there to put out those embers.
What we were told is that they called, they said, do you see fire? They said, we see smoke. And until we have the calls, we asked for the calls, but until we have the calls, we don't know. But it sounds like they said we're not deploying anybody until we see fire, Elizabeth.
Okay, but that's the 911 operator. When this lawsuit and the lawyer is criticizing the state for not putting out the fire, the state with state firefighters?
Well, state firefighters, Gavin Newsom has said they pre-deployed state firefighters to Southern California and to the area. But CAL FIRE, which is state firefighters, told me none of them were pre-deployed to the Palisades, and that would have made the difference right there.
Yeah. Well, we will obviously see as this plays out in court, but that is, you know, that video of that smoke coming up out of the ground is pretty stunning. And then obviously we had this rare event with
Key piece of evidence.
Yeah, with these massive, massive winds that sparked those embers and spread that fire. Rich McHugh, thanks so much.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.